Yeah, welcome to a new episode. Today you join us at Narita Airport, just about to leave to Kuala Lumpur. We've been invited to go to Art of Speed, which is a show that I've been going to for exactly 10 years. Always covering it for speed hunters, and this will be the first time that we actually take our content from Japan abroad. So I'm quite excited for that because there's going to be a lot of car culture hunting that I'll be doing on the side of the show, aside from the show itself. So coverage from the show, hopefully a series of vlogs from that. There's a lot of stuff happening around that massive event in KL. A lot of eating and a lot of meeting friends, because I have a lot of friends in KL now after a decade of going there for Art of Speed and other events. So lots of car culture, a lot of JDM stuff, a lot of imports, a lot of classics. So a nice mix of stuff. So quite excited to get going on this exciting trip. So the thing with Malaysia is that there's a lot of car culture out there that most people don't really realize. There's incredible collections that hopefully we'll get access to this time around. And I just want to kind of show you guys that Japan is amazing in itself, but there's a lot of other countries within the Asia kind of region that really do JDM and other facets of car culture very, very well. And Malaysia is definitely one of them. So looking forward to hunting a lot of cool stuff out there and bringing you hopefully new content, hopefully things you haven't seen before on other channels. Okay, so here we are. We've arrived in KL. Our friend Yip came to pick us up. So Art of Speed starts tomorrow, but tonight we're taking a bit of time off and enjoying some amazing Chinese foods. Just to show you how much life there is here. So it's after 9 o'clock, and look how many people are out. Everybody's sitting down. Crazy. Hey, so it's the next day and we are at the venue of Art of Speed just outside of KL. The show is already pretty packed with people arriving, and as you can hear, a lot of people arrive here in all sorts of motorcycles. But enough with the chatting. I think we should walk in and start taking a look at all the cars that have come this year to display a nice kind of look at what Malaysian car culture is all about. So the actual venue is really cool. It's a series of exhibition halls, and it's divided quite nicely. A nice mix of cars and bikes and booths and stalls. So there's a lot of stuff to keep people interested. A lot of events happening. A lot of big brands sponsoring and participating in the event. On that hall down there, there's a Hot Wheels display, all custom Hot Wheels created here in Malaysia, so we'll definitely take a look at that later on. Okay, so here it is. This is, I guess you would call this the main hall. This is where the main event stage is, where all the performances are going to be done today. So there's a nice kind of lineup of cars around the perimeter and some kind of curated displays along the way. So let's begin right here. So starting right here with this really cool
EK Civic running Reds wheels. It's got some really nice Pro 500 AP Racing calipers. Very clean build, lots of detailing. Even the inside of the trunk, it's like carbon fiber, completely stripped out. The shell's obviously been taken down to raw metal and resprayed body color. Bolted in roll cage. Battery relocation. You got all the radium fueling accessories back there. Carbon dash. Very clean build. This really nice array of 510 Datsuns. We have 2 coupes, 1 sedan and 1 wagon. Of course, vintage cars here in Malaysia are really, really hot. Definitely take kind of like the majority of show cars here are very much fuchsia and vintage of every type, including American stuff. And as we will see later on, there's even some Italian cars, which is pretty crazy. So this is going for kind of like a British racing green. This is super clean, this maroon color. And right behind us, the big Datsun pickup. Right behind it, a Chevy pickup on Steelies and Yokohama Nova tires. Interesting take. This thing behind it really made me giggle when I came in because it looks like a little K car, but then it's being converted to a pickup. So I think this is the Malaysian version of the Daihatsu Mira, I believe it was a, and right behind an Alfa Romeo GT. A Giulia GT in Malaysia, I can't believe it. This would be 1750. So it's pretty crazy because I was just looking at one of these in Japan. So it's really nice to see, you know, this love for Italian cars shine through even here in Malaysia. And right behind it, the Giulia sedan with the Carabinieri, the Italian police livery on it. It's actually a deep maroon, it's actually like a deep purple. Pronto intervento, the phone number, so legit police car livery on it. Right here at the back of the main exhibition hall, there's like a Kaido racer slash Bosuzoku car style display. Let's do one whole circle from the outside and we'll go inside and take a look at the cars from the back. This has got the Playboy logo, but it actually says Prayboy. One with a 787 style livery. And this black one here. Let's go inside and take a look at the back. Look at the Takayari on this. 3 Takayari on each side. This one has either a diff or a gearbox cooler at the back. This one's going for very much a Kaido racer look. If you remember, Kato-san from Liberty Walk runs this kind of conversion on his Ken Mary, where the tail lights are all being closed up. One is being left and it's tilted at like 45 degrees. And you know, much like most of Malaysia, there's an insane amount of love for Japan and Japanese culture in general, not just cars. I've noticed there's pretty much every kind of main shop chain here, 7-Eleven, Aeon. I even spotted big shopping malls like Lalaport. So, you know, Malaysians really enjoy Japanese culture of every form, food, clothes, cars, bikes, everything. So it's really cool to see this fusion of cultures coming together here in Asia. Volkswagen themed Subaru van. It's pretty legit. And the front seats actually turn rearward, so you can have a little picnic style party back there. Okay, so there's some more JDM stuff back here. There's a nice Celica ST here on Speedline wheels. An aero disc setup at the front and naked at the back. And of course, if you're talking about Hachirokus, you can't really beat one of the limited black limited versions. Only 400 of these were ever made. This is actually one of 2 in Malaysia. And check out the detailing. So on the Watanabes, the center caps have been done in gold, just like the OEM graphics on the car. Okay, so here's another great one we have to kind of talk more about on. This is a KE70 Corolla Coupe. And I think this is like the perfect example of how Malaysian, aftermarket tuning culture has evolved in the decade that I've come to this show, Art of Speed, and just seeing how people are just creating better and better projects, cleaner and cleaner builds. This one particularly is running an SR20 swap with a top-mounted turbo, and it's so well executed. And right behind it is this old school Starlet on N2 fenders. Very clean build, nothing too crazy, just right. So right here next to the Black Limited is this Panda Treno that is quite famous in Malaysia because the owner has been pretty much on a 10-year journey restoring this car from bare metal to, I would say, pretty much museum spec perfection. He's kind of laid out his entire project, and the details that have gone into it. I mean, we're actually going to go and see him next week to do a proper video on this car, but just wanted to quickly run through it and kind of check out how clean this restoration is. I mean, it looks pretty much like it just came out of the Toyota factory in the 1980s. So the actual full restoration began in May 2019, so 4 years in the making, right down to the bare chassis. The car was put on a jig and straightened out. Rotisserie completely brought back to perfection, all factory spec, painted and reassembled using some original parts, some refurbished. Of course, you can't find everything, but yeah, the level of attention to detail is second to none. I've seen a lot of restorations, and this is right there at the top with most of them. Okay, so we're here with the owner, and he's going to give us a quick rundown of his massive journey. What, a decade long, right?
Basically, I own the car since year 2015. Then I drove it around for 4 years. Then I decided, then I decided to restore it because of the condition. It wasn't so good, like other A86 as well that you see. Decided to full restore it, strip everything apart, and then fix all the brass, overhaul the engine, restore the interior. I basically convert from Koki previously, Koki spec, to Zenki Type 1 Sprinter Treno.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Can we take a look at the interior?
Yes, yes. Correct. So, yeah, this is the Zenki interior. Previously, it was Koki, the black and grey interior. So we try to find all the Zenki parts, and we try to reupholster the seats and try to find that sticker is new. So whatever I can find here, I try to find it. Whatever I cannot find here, I try to restore it. And we managed to find the original A86 radio as well.
Oh, even the radio.
Yes. Correct. Yeah, but too bad it's not functional.
Yeah.
Just for decoration purpose, I believe. Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you. We'll definitely come and see you next week.
Yes, cool. Thank you.
And since we've done 2 older 86s over here, we got to show this GR86 on 326 power wheels, dumped right to the ground. So it never fails to impress me just how into Hot Wheels Malaysia is in general. Of course, Hot Wheels are made in Malaysia, so it kind of goes to hand in hand. There's a love for these things, and you can't even get 1 foot inside. They're like releasing limited edition Hot Wheels, and check this out. You actually only get a 10-minute shopping limit that you gotta kind of like buy as much as you can or whatever you need in that amount of time, and then they kick you out to let the next people in. So this is the Moon Eyes booth. Of course, Moon Eyes has been supporting Art of Speed since the very beginning, so just over 10 years now. And there's always a ton of stuff from these guys worth buying. And some of the crew from Japan is here as well. The famous moon discs and all the accessories and stickers that you would find at Moon Eyes Area 1 in Yokohama. And the custom car culture continues with a crazy Cobra Mustang next to one of, I think, 3 or 4 RWB 964s that are in Malaysia. I was actually at the very first build in 2015 here in KL of, I think it was a Targa or a Cabriolet. And this thing is running a twin turbo conversion, hanging out the back. You can't get more dramatic than that for visuals. There's even a little dump pipe for the wastegates under there. So pretty wild 964. I spotted this really interesting MR2 wide body. It's got the attack sticker on the side. So pretty cool to see that they're recreating the Japanese time attack look and feel. It kind of reminds me of the Kyushu Danji NSX that we saw for a few years at Scuba during the Battle of Ome years, and then into the first few attack series. It even has a snorkel up here. OMP steering wheel, insane. Like setup for the hydro and the shifter. And a massive GT wing and diffuser. Yeah, this is pretty wild. Continuing on, there's a nice lineup of 4 Nissans, starting with this Akoska 2000 GTX, going into a Skyline GTR replica, and right behind it is a V-Spec 2 NER R34 GTR with some Nismo goodies. It's got the Nismo inlet pipes and airbox.
This is the original V-Spec tuner, and that is the original M-Spec NER.
2 NERs then. So we have 2 NERs here. There you go. So it's got the V-Spec 2 bonnet, carbon fiber, the Nismo titanium strut brace. It's the pearl white that Nissan offered. It was possibly the most unluckiest color you could choose for a 34 because it has extreme discoloration issues between the metals and the plastic. So between steel, aluminum, carbon and plastic, you get 4 different shades of yellowish white, which you can really tell here. It's unfortunate. And this is exactly the same color. So this is an M-Spec NER. So these cars are worth upwards of $500,000 now. So it's pretty crazy. We're seeing 2 of them right here at Art of Speed. Okay, so we are in the second hall, where it's a whole other different vibe, and including there's a kind of like an outdoor camping show next to this, and we come in and we see a bunch of old school rally Mitsubishis and Toyotas, a little Starlet here, and this is where one of Malaysia's biggest JDM groups, No Equal, kind of arranges a display, and they always have a really cool theme. This year it's all about motorsport, so pretty much every car that you will see here has a motorsport theme to it or is a motorsport car, starting with this 787 liveried FC from Singapore. So there's a 997 Cup car and the only 355 Challenge Stradale in Malaysia. Very cool EK next to a Daihatsu Cappuccino. 2 drag spec R32 GTRs. We'll have to see if we can get a look at the engine bays. Right behind it, Polestar drag car. Polestar and Sunny pairing. And this is actually something that I particularly noticed and liked straight away. This is like, I guess you could describe it as a mishmash. This is a Satria. So this is a Malaysia market Proton that's being kind of like built together with Mitsubishi Lancer pieces. So you can see it's got Evo 3 headlights, Evo 5 integrated bumper, and I think the fender is off of an Evo 2. It's an insanely well-built Frankenstein time attack car, and it's actually one of the fastest cars to ever have lapped Sepang. I think it does 216 officially, 215 unofficially. Not really sure how much power it actually puts out, but it's got to be something substantial because, yeah, lapping 2 minutes 16 at Sepang is serious. And next to it is another time attack car. This is actually one that I may have seen before because this was actually the 2012 World Time Attack at Eastern Creek in Australia, and it's been imported here to Malaysia, and it still has, I guess, the original aero. The headlights have been deleted, like a hand-shaped kind of conversion, side exit exhaust, gigantic wing. It's kind of like a cool take at what, you know, World Time Attack and the whole time attack scene at that level was 10 years ago, and kind of seeing how it's all evolved in the last 10 years. Pretty wild. And more cool rally Evos, Impreza here, and next to this Discovery Camel Trophy, soon to be restored project, is a very cool car. This is a very early, late 70s Lancia Delta, the only one in the country, they think, and it's actually just being put through the initial first stages of a full-on restoration. So I think next time we see it at future shows, it's going to be in pristine condition. But I think it makes sense to kind of take a look at it like this because it kind of emphasizes just how old the Lancia Delta design is. Of course, you know, it was designed in '78, and how simple the lines are. I mean, all the way up until what, 92, 93, when the Integrale kind of like phased out, it was, you know, pretty much the same shape that remained. So this Proton Wira, if you look at it closely here, has the Schumacher name under it, and that's because this particular car was actually driven by Michael Schumacher back in 2003 on a trip that he had here, and I guess it's become a legendary car because of that. I don't know, I just find it cool seeing, you know, local market cars being used in motorsport like this one was, obviously. And yeah, back of these two. That's a dream garage right there. 355 Challenge and 997 Cup car. We finally got it open, and here's a 4G63 out of a first gen Mitsubishi Lancer Evo, so the 1, 2, 3 generation. So it has a massive low mounted turbo down there, Arctic one-piece manifolds, external wastegate, no custom piping. Yeah, I mean, I think something like this will probably put out 500-600 horsepower, judging on the size of the turbo. Pretty cool. All right, so a bit of a surprise. Yip and his cool friends have brought a really interesting car for me to sample tonight as we go and check out a meet that's happening in KL. So I think we should just jump in and drive. I have to say, driving Malaysian highways is kind of like driving in Tokyo, except there seems to be sometimes more traffic, sometimes like now, less traffic.
Kind of helps. You're trying to familiarize yourself with a car you've never driven. Oh, this is so cool. I mean, driving in Malaysia is pretty much as much of a kind of video game look as it is driving in Tokyo. Okay, so we made it eventually to the car meet. We're a bit late, some cars have left, but there's actually cars still arriving. So we're gonna take a quick look and check out what showed up and possibly head upstairs because there's an indoor drifting track. So yeah, let's take a look. All right, it's been an incredible night. I've had a chance to spend a good couple of hours driving this really cool MR2 around Malaysia and sampling some of their highway network, including this really cool, nice new highway that basically kind of reminded me of the Wangan. You know, big thank you to Yip and his friends for you know, taking us out tonight, and what an amazing meet. A great night in Malaysia, and looking forward to the rest of the trip. Okay, so this is day 2 of Art of Speed. I'm actually just going outside the main venue here because I've been asked, along with a few other guests that came to the show, to judge the Hot Wheels Legends Malaysia contest, which is basically going out here on a car park and judging a bunch of cars that have been built with the whole kind of idea that they could possibly become and be turned into Hot Wheels diecast. So we're gonna go and check it out over here and see what showed up for this interesting Hot Wheels themed event. Okay, so here's the car park that's hosting the Hot Wheels Legends competition, and we have to go through all these cars and select 6. So as ever, I'm confronted with difficult choices, and there's a serious lineup of cars here. I mean, it's like 4 or 5 lines deep. And check out this Honda City here with the Motocompo. Volvo Amazon with skulls in the grille. This one that looks like it's been hand painted with a magic marker, and I think it actually has been done that way. Colorful Mini with a GTR plate. A Velfire. That's interesting. That's interesting because I don't think Hot Wheels has ever made a Velfire van. And Velfire vans are very cool, especially when they're dropped on air suspension and have gigantic Brembo calipers. Of course, there's some local cars like these Protons, which I know very little about, so it's hard for me to make an actual call on these. Oh my lord, look at this. This would probably be the most complex Hot Wheels to create. I don't think I've ever seen a car that combines gull wing doors with butterfly doors.
It's got a water feature. And a bar and champagne glasses.
Like there's 6 different LED remotes.
Bit of sticker bombing happening at the back. Alec is loving it. These are pretty cool. So it looks like a local Proton pickup, but with Evo 3 front swap. I apologize for the music. This has an Evo 4 front swap. Okay, so after 2 days here at Art of Speed, we are concluding the coverage. It's been an amazing 2 days checking out, the best of Malaysian car and bike culture. And we still have 3 days here in Malaysia, so we're going to be doing a lot more hunting around for cool cars, cool shops, and potentially even some collections. So I really hope you enjoyed the coverage. I'm going to head back to the hotel and start looking at the pictures that I took. So check back soon for more. Malaysia is awesome, and I want to share as much as possible with you guys. So thank you for taking a look at Art of Speed for 2023. You'll be seeing a lot of food content here because we have the official Speed, or rather food hunter that keeps taking us to these glorious places. This is Darren. You'll be seeing his shop in a future video, but for now we're doing other stuff, not really car related, more the important stuff.